Stop this crazy thing. Stop this crazy.
Hey, Roaring Waters here. I should have really done this review almost 2 months ago. The thing though is that at the time I wasn't really feeling the album, and I thought if I don't like it that much, then I shouldn't have to do a review on it, especially if it's supposed to be a classic review. But recently, I've come to realize that that's a little bit of an irresponsible thing to feel as a reviewer, because, I'm gonna have to come across things that I'm not gonna be too crazy about. But I realize that it's a little silly not to do something just because I don't like it, I can't just pretend that everything is amazing and that things that I don't like or things that are not good don't exist. So, not everything's gonna be golden, and because of this, I decided to finally do a review for this album, which, like I said, should have been done a long time ago, but whatever, And I went back to listen to it in preparation for this review, and you know what? It's not so bad, actually. As always, some background. MC Shan is a Queensbridge-based rapper and a cousin of legendary hip-hop producer Marley Marl, whom he joined in the legendary Juice Crew alongside other legendary and iconic rappers such as Big Daddy Kane, Kool G Rap, Master Ace, Roxanne Shante, and Biz Markie. And he's probably best known as the originator of the Bridge Wars, which was a feud with the South Bronx-based hip-hop group Boogie Down Productions, as a result of the release of the song The Bridge. See, Boogie Down Productions misinterpreted The Bridge as stating that hip-hop was born in Queensbridge rather than the Bronx. And so they responded with the song South Bronx, and this confused MC Shan and Marley Marl, who stated that they weren't saying hip-hop was born in Queensbridge at all, and then they released the answer song Kill That Noise, to which BDP retaliated with Bridge is over. Other MCs got involved, but their contributions are negligible in comparison to MC Shan and Boogie Down Productions. KRS-One eventually admitted to just using the Queens versus South Bronx rivalry simply as a pretense to lash out at the Juice Crew, because back in the day, he and Scott LaRock approached Mr. Magic with a song of theirs, their first 12-inch, and Mr. Magic said it was whack. And so they were angry at him and figured, hey, we gotta take a shot at him for it. And so that's the Bridge Wars. And aside from that, MC Shan isn't really known for much else. He moved into production work in the 90s after producing another couple albums with Marley Marl, and that's about it. Lyrically, MC Shan on this album is pretty good. From what I can gather, he co-wrote a good number of, if not all of the songs on the album with Marley Marl. And he covers topics such as how crack can ruin even the best of lives, which was really a problem because it was really affecting black communities in the 80s. He was talking about Queensbridge's rap scene in the Bridge, which is what he was talking about, the origins of rap in Queensbridge, not rap in general, love, the art of hip-hopping and singing, and, Boogie Down Productions. His flow is also not that bad, this is a little bit before the release of albums from people like Eric B. and Rakim and Kool G Rap and DJ Polo and Big Daddy Kane, but a little bit after the introduction of these artists through singles of people like Kool Mo D. So the actual flow, rather than just the simple playground rhymes of hip-hop, was kind of starting to emerge, and MC Shan seemed to be getting with it. But if I did have to compare him to somebody, I would compare him to LL Cool J, which is kind of ironic considering that The Bridge was actually the B-side to a song called Beat Biter, where MC Shan accused LL Cool J of plagiarizing Marley Marl beats. And adding to the irony is the fact that Marley Marl actually went on to produce LL Cool J's Mama Said Knock You Out. Speaking of Marley Marl, this is actually his first full album production work. Meaning he produced before, but it's mostly only singles and stuff here and there. But this was his first full album. And even though he went to become one of the most iconic and legendary hip-hop producers of all time, one of the most influential, this particular piece of work isn't all that stellar. I mean, it's not bad. It does its job adequately. It provides a good backing to MC Shan's spitting, but I mean, it's not that innovative, And I'm not saying everything has to be super groundbreaking, but when you compare it to the rest of Marley Marl's production work, especially what he later went on to do, it just feels a little bit weak, The beats are consistent, you could say, but after a while they start feeling a little bit of repetitive, There's not a lot of things to differentiate them from one another. On the topic of repetitiveness, the hooks on every song, not every song, but mostly every song, it feels like, the songs suffer from using the same tricks for the hooks, which is just a single phrase, which is usually the title or some variation on it, just repeated and stuttered and pitch shifted, and just you do that a few times for a few bars or whatever, and then MC Shan comes back with the verses, and it's like, I noticed it on Jane Stop This Crazy Thing, which I particularly didn't like, not the song as a whole, just the refrain. I didn't like it, but I was like, whatever, this is just a one-time thing. But then I heard it again on Project Ho, and I was like, wait a second. And then I started noticing that on practically every song that followed, he was doing the exact same thing, and I was like, man, come on, Marley Marl, you're better than this. You can do better. It got irritating. Though I do have to hand it to Marley Marl, though, because even if his work in this particular album wasn't the best, he did go on to produce a lot of iconic hip-hop albums, and even managed to give them all their own sound, like the albums he produced for Big Daddy Kane don't sound like the albums he produced for Cool G Rap and stuff like that. So he did really start developing as a producer after this, and then like his solo album In Control, stuff's great, So kudos to him in general. So to wrap things up, this is a pretty solid, good album. MC Shan's verses and flow and his lyrics carry the album well, even through the less than stellar production work. And I think my personal highlights are Kill That Noise, The Bridge, Down by Law, Left Me Lonely, and maybe Jane Stop This Crazy Thing. I don't know about that one still. It's hit or miss. It depends on the mood. And with that in mind, I would give the album a good 7.5. And that's my rating. Bye!